Welcome to Good Eats with Gab. I'm Chef Gabriella Baldwin, and today we're going to be making a fall crunch salad. So first off, we're going to start by peeling our sweet potato. I love sweet potato, probably more than the average person loves sweet potato. My husband says I have an unhealthy relationship with sweet potatoes, but they're so delicious, they fill you up, and they are so vibrant when in season. So when you peel, remember that your peeler goes two ways. So if you want to speed up the process, just kind of pretend you're scrubbing it. Beautiful. And now we're going to do a nice small dice on the sweet potato. Go into planks first, and the best way to make sure you or try not to cut yourself, is to take the flat part and put it down on your board. Then go at it from the front of the knife to the back of the knife, so you have more control over your blade. Always wash your vegetables prior. You never know what they've been through before they got to your house. And we're going for a nice uniform small dice. I love the sound of crunchy vegetables. So now we're gonna put it on a tray and oil it up. I like to put a little salt and pepper and chipotle in the oven at 400 degrees for about 10 minutes, 15 minutes. And you're gonna get these nice crispy bits of sweet potato. They taste smoky, and sometimes I'll do sumac, but I wanted a little more spice this time, so we went with chipotle. All right, in the same oven that our sweet potatoes are gonna go in, at the same 400 degrees, we're gonna toast off some walnuts. I like to do a little bit of brown sugar, using dark brown sugar to make sure it's nice and deep in flavor and it caramelizes nicely. A little bit of oil and some salt and pepper. Then I kind of agitate these, and in the oven we go. All right, now let's get started on our vinaigrette. I love this vinaigrette because it has one key ingredient that I think makes it just a little bit different. It's maple syrup. So the maple syrup with the dry cranberries that are in this recipe and the sweet potato are just gonna be magical together. In the bowl, I wanna start with my mustard. That's the emulsifier. This is going to bind all of your ingredients together. I like to use whole ground for the texture. I think it has a nice little tooth to it, and I find it sweeter and less sharp than a Dijon. So we have our mustard in here, and then we have our apple cider vinegar, a little salt and pepper, and I'm actually going to give a nice little mince on my shallot. With the shallot, you see that we're going horizontal, and I'm doing 2 slits horizontally, and then I go with the grooves of the onion. This is going to make sure that it's a really nice, even mince. It's kind of like all the mince with half the work. With shallots and a vinaigrette, it's very important to make sure they're nice and minced so they incorporate evenly. Give them a good once over, and in we go. So I have some fun texture to this already. And then we go in with our maple syrup. So exciting. I've actually used this as a marinade too for pork. It's wonderful. Now we go in with our oil. And you want to constantly whisk while you're pouring gradually. And if you need to catch up, no worries. Just kind of scrape the sides and get all in there. A shortcut to this too is to put it right in the food processor, and you will see less of the grains of the mustard and less of the texture of the shallot, but you'll get a nice creamy texture. So it's up to you which way you want to go. Let's move on to our mise en place. With kale, you want to actually massage it. I know that sounds pretty funny, But in order to massage it, we're gonna take some oil right on top, and you're going to massage the oil onto the leaflets of kale. What this is gonna do, break it down a little bit, make it a little more palatable. Sometimes when you get kale and you don't massage it, it can be kind of chalky. So if you notice, the color of this just started brightening up right away. It makes it nice and softer, a little more flexible as well. Love that. Now we're gonna go in for our Brussels sprouts. And we're just gonna chop these raw Brussels sprouts. You can shred them with a mandolin, but I say the mandolin's not worth the medical bill. Get a nice little shred on these. I'm not a big fan of Brussels sprouts all the time, but in this application, I feel like they're really fun. We also have a wonderful Brussels sprout at the restaurant. My husband and I know that everybody loves a good Brussels sprout, but it's just not something that we gravitate to if we see it on the menu. We're not like, oh my gosh, we have to have Brussels sprouts. So it was really important for us to make a really good Brussels sprout that even we would eat. And ours is tossed in gochujang chili sauce, which is a Korean chili paste and adds a nice umami flavor along with a sweetness, and we do crispy garlic on top. So I'm not hating on Brussels sprouts. They're a pretty versatile ingredient. So that seems pretty good. Nice little crunch in there. My other favorite, because I just apparently love everything about the salad, part of this is the scallions. So a lot of people discount the scallion bulbs. These little parts of the bulb, I would save and throw that right into a stock. So don't throw away your vegetable scraps, please. And I'm a fan of full utilization of a scallion. So we're gonna go right in with a full bulb. The white part is nice and pungent like an allium. The green part is super bright and herbaceous. Really crisp throughout. I like to add extra scallion when I can. That seems pretty good. And let's just throw that in there. That's the beauty of the salad. It's like once you get all the knife work done, it's done. Now we shall put it together. I'm gonna get my sweet potatoes. My kale is in here, my Brussels are in here, my scallions now, extra scallions. And my sweet potatoes are perfect. Nice and crunchy, they're a little browned. And like I said before, sometimes I do sumac. It's a great spice, has a lot of toastiness to it. But today I did chipotle because my son doesn't eat anything green, so I don't have to worry about him not liking the spice level. That seems pretty good. Let's add in our vinaigrette. Nice healthy little helping there. I'm gonna add my dry cranberries in there for a nice tart sweetness. And then the goat cheese. I'm saving all of my toasted elements for last. And then you're gonna toss this up really nicely. I'm a cheeseburger and fries kind of girl, but when it comes to a salad, this one really slaps. Salads have to be fun. I mean, get out of the mindset that it has to be mixed greens and tomatoes and cucumbers. Although my dad used to put olives in our salad growing up, and that was pretty good, I'll have to admit. So what I would do in this sense is I have all of my soft ingredients ready to go. Do a nice helping of this. Make it super bountiful, right? Your family's gonna eat with their eyes first. My candied walnuts came out amazing. They create little clusters, and that just lets you know that those are pockets of sugar waiting to be enjoyed. And then some sunflower seeds. I don't toast them at all. I just throw them right on top. And you have a wonderful, guilty fall crunch salad. Let's see how we did. I'm still crunching. The crunch salad is crunching. I really love that you get pockets of pungence and sweet and tanginess every time you eat the salad, every bite you take. The walnuts are such a nice, nutty end note. It's kind of the last thing that lingers on your palate. And then those tiny little dices of sweet potato are so fun, and they're hearty and filling. This is a great salad to eat on its own, or I'd put maybe a piece of blackened chicken or blackened shrimp with it. And I think it could be a dinner, perhaps in somebody's future. Maybe not a kid, but I think mom and dad will really like this one. I hope you make it at home. I really enjoyed cooking this dish for you at home, and I hope you cook it for somebody you love. If you want to see what else I'm cooking, follow me on Instagram at Gabriella Baldwin with 2 N's. And thank you, WBRW, for